Phoenix Down Radio is on the air. With your hosts,
Klaus Nightbringer,
Seyrr Kimono,
Chille,
and Luna Vox.
welcome everybody to Phoenix Down Radio, episode number 72. How's everyone doing tonight?
sexy.
Oh my god.
He did it. Oh god.
And tone is set for the night. We're good.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something.
Something problematic.
Something. I like potato salad.
Yeah. So, it's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, how's everyone doing?
Please
It's
no,
hot here.
go gold saucer. No, go away.
Chille's
Go
kind
on,
of
we have a special guest.
Chille's feeling kind of PTSD'd out from the gold saucer. How much MGP did you earn during this event, Chille?
1.4 million.
Jesus.
Good
Yeah,
lord.
That's. I mean, I'm not that far off, but damn, son.
Yeah. I had 500k when I started. I bought all three things. I bought Fenrir, and I'm back to 200k.
Wow.
So yeah.
Let's see. I ended up getting about 1.1 million.
Yeah.
That's not bad
But
at
I
all.
still need to finish my challenge log, so
Yeah, I still have to do some chocobo racing to finish that off for the week.
yeah. I need
Speaking
to
of
do
which-
the Vermilion and Chocobo racing. So
Oh, and I have to do Verminion. Thank you. Just a reminder, guys, this is the last weekend of it. The Make It Rain campaign ends on Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure that you get your challenge logs done before then to make sure you get the bonus MGP on that.
That also does include the NPCs who are selling the discounted items and the exclusive items.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your bunny gear, if you want to get your gambler's gear, or whatever else that they're selling at a discount, make sure you pick that up before 8 p.m. tomorrow night. If you're
Or
listening
those
to us
delightful
after that,
home arcade machines.
yeah, those two. But if you're listening to us after that, sorry you missed out. Apologize, but
Unless you didn't, in which case, good job.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
good work.
So what's everyone
Yeah.
been up to the last 2 weeks besides grinding their souls away in the gold saucer?
I got to level 10 in Eureka.
Yay.
Congrats.
Cool.
Woo! Also, summer reading.
Yeah.
Can I gloat? I
Sure.
want to gloat.
Oh, are you gonna gloat about that thing that you said?
Yeah, I want to gloat. I feel like I deserve to
I
gloat.
think you were allowed to gloat on this one. Yes.
You will even get a hearty washoy.
I
Yes,
beat
yes.
God Kefka.
Ooh.
Washoy!
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Oh wait, S is down. I did it.
So when are you doing Ubu?
We actually went in for shits and giggles and just died.
I kind of figured you would.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll walk in and die. That's what we did.
Nice.
Good job.
But
But
no,
yeah, it took
congratulations
us-
on the clear.
Thank you. It took us about a month and a half, and actually that night on our second pull, we got him down to 2%, and then 1%, and then we wiped.
I heard that you got something else out of that too.
Yeah, I got them out.
You
I got them
lucky.
out.
Chille,
Which-
I think you hacked the game.
Which
Pretty
one is
sure
the
you
map for
do.
Kefka? Is that the Air Force?
Yeah, the Air Force.
So adorable.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we all hate you
I-
now.
I rolled
don't
an
hate-
89 on it, so
I
I
think
got
that's awesome and adorable. I don't hate you.
No, we hate him.
yeah. So yeah, and
I
then
say so. We hate him. No,
and
just
then I
kidding.
crafted the feather into the housing item as well.
Very nice.
So I've got the housing item.
But seriously, congratulations. Glad
Thank
to
you.
hear it. What about you, Luna? What have you been up to?
Well, my hand is getting eaten by a small kitten.
Oh, you win.
That you got in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got him not this past Thursday, but Thursday before that. And yeah, my mom, she brought in a stray cat, and turns out it had kittens, and now I have this little hellion who likes to sleep in between my boobies every night. So
Yes, if
But
you
yeah.
follow Luna on
Yeah.
social media, you'll be able to see the kitten, not the boobies.
he's, well,
Well,
there's cleavage, but yeah.
Anything else could be problematic.
every that's where we have sensors come in. But I mean, anyway. But yeah, I've been spending time with him. I've been grinding PvP for this hair that I'm currently wearing and the new emote, which is a bitch because the hair was 18k wolf marks.
Yeah.
And the emote is 15 or 14 or something like that.
And
Have
then
you gotten the minion yet?
Yeah, the
Nope,
minion's
not yet.
15k.
Yeah, I picked
That's
up the minion.
next grind.
Yeah, that's 15k. I picked that one up.
It's cute. I don't know. I really wanted this hair though. I've been rocking this for a while now. Other than that, I've kind of been hanging around. I redecorated the FC a few days ago. I won a Twitter contest from, let me get their official handle. I believe it's Hina Boop. So HINA_BOOP was doing a contest that if they get so many Twitter followers, they'll give away either the angel outfit or the devil outfit or an orchestrion, the Moogle orchestrion. And well, I really don't give a crap about the angel or the devil outfit, so I ended up getting the Moogle. Seyrr, what are you doing?
Seyrr thinks he can hide back there. Also, thank you so much for the host electrical skateboard, and welcome to everybody that's joining us.
Yes, welcome. But yeah, if you're watching live right now, you can actually see the orchestrion kind of over Chille's head.
It is adorable, but
it is adorable. I wouldn't ever personally pay for it, but it's pretty damn cute.
Yeah. If you know somebody who might like that, I mean, it'd be a cool gift to give them. But like I said, I personally probably won't buy it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Seyrr, you should come up and join us because we can only see you peering over my shoulder.
Oh, I thought the counter was a little shorter than that.
Anyway,
Creepy.
You want to be the bartender and the chef?
the chef
cool.
tender.
The kitchen is upstairs, Seyrr. God.
Yeah. So what are you doing
Also,
down
put
here?
your
Make me a
boobies away.
sandwich.
No.
Wait, this is that kind of establishment. Never mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, this
I
thing
was gonna
is.
say, isn't it the opposite way around? You should be like, get the boobies out.
Anyway, moving on. I actually hit 70 on all of my crafters this past week.
Oh, well done.
So finally hit that mark, so I can start to gear all that up. Do all my own melds finally. Don't have to rely on a Rory anymore.
You are now a god of the hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eyebrow wiggle.
Oh my.
Giggity.
But the real important thing is we're coming up on the end of June, guys. And that means we have one more week to determine the fate of my beard. As many of you guys are aware, we are in our second year raising funds for Extra Life. And I decided for this month, I wanted to try and hit our goal of $500 towards that awesome charity. And I decided to put my beard on the line. So with that, we're currently at $250 thanks to some really amazing donors. And the team Bye Bye Beard is leading by a large amount. So if we can hit that goal by next Saturday, I will be shaving the beard on stream. Otherwise, we'll be looking at nobody's going to win at that point, and it's going to be kind of sad. Plus,
So, Klaus,
yes.
is there such a thing as beard cornrows?
Oh God. Yes.
No.
Also, how much money?
Like I said, we need to raise $500. And actually, I suppose technically, if somebody were to donate $250 and do team cornrows, we could figure out a way to do that. Because you know what? It's for the kids.
For the kids.
I mean,
I don't think they're going to allow you around kids if we do this. Wait, what?
I don't think we're doing anything like that. But
I figured, like, how creepy can... anyways.
Ah, there we go. Deserves one.
another problematic sticker there, Chille.
Needs it.
Wrong podcast, but anyway.
Right.
I don't care. It needs it.
Yeah, it does. But we also have some awesome giveaways. If we hit $350, we have been given an awesome prize to give away from the MOG station from our friend Talon Broadbent. You can choose your any one of the glamour sets from there. And if we hit $500, I have some stuff from Loot Cave that I'll be giving away to 2 lucky winners on that. So we've got the I don't know if you guys followed the stream when I unboxed all of that, but I got some really cool Final Fantasy themed cookie cutters, as well as a Red Mage Jobstone keychain. So we've got that to give away as well. So like I said, we need to hit that $500 goal to get to that, but help us do that so we can donate some awesome money to the kids and make me look like a baby face again.
Oh God.
Yeah, you've never seen me without a beard, have you, Luna?
I have. It's scary.
Well, oh wait,
but
yes.
For the kids.
2 years ago at Detour.
Yep.
I did shave that was the last time I shaved my beard.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I love Flatus, but he looks so creepy without his beard.
Yeah, you should see me.
Pete.
You
I think it was Pete, wasn't it? Pete, actually. No, it was Pete
the
that
other
drove
one,
me.
yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love you, Pete, but no, please keep the beard forever. Don't ever lose it again, because I was scared.
Empowerings. Oh wow, thank you so much.
Love you,
Thank you,
WOOMA.
Sachi.
Thank you so much for all of that cheers. That is amazing. Thank you so much. It must be a friend of yours, Luna?
Yeah, that's actually Sachi. That's Mandervilling back behind us.
Sachi, thank you so much for the donations. We really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
But if you can give that to the kids, like I said, that would be even better.
Well, could you transfer the money if you want?
It takes a bit to get it, but yeah, we could maybe work something out where I put a donation in their name if they'd like.
Yeah.
One other piece of show news. Luna and I will be going to see A New World Intimate Music from Final Fantasy this September.
Yeah.
You remember that a couple of years ago, right, Luna?
Yeah. It was funny because I actually went down to that area this past fall because that's where the Children's Museum is at, and we parked in the ramp that the bar is in actually. So
nice. It's a really cool place. But it's really cool because we're going to be going with Nicknar again. And we are also going to be joined by Yalta Sumasu from Gather Together and her husband Ulf. So, I mean, it's going to be an amazing time. We actually got the meet and greet passes this time, so we're going to actually get to meet Benjamin Nuss and as well as the other players for the chamber orchestra. It's going to be a great time. I really am looking forward to that because that's probably what we're going to be able to do this year instead of FanFest.
Yeah.
Sadly. Though, there is something that we can talk about that when we get further into the gaming community news. Before we jump into that, I do want to just specify one thing. There's been a lot of talk about a really kind of a sad incident that happened over this past week. Now, we're not going to get into details here at Phoenix Down Radio right now because it is so fresh. But we just do want people to know that things that happen like that, are not to be stood for.
Oh my God, Klaus, you are vague booking so hard. Can I handle this one?
Do you want to?
Yes,
okay.
I actually. So there have been a number of accusations of a lot of people coming forward about concerns with the Moogle Post and with its former editor-in-chief. At this time, it's a developing situation, and quite frankly, we don't know any of the details, so don't really feel like we should weigh in. But we do want to send out our support to everyone who's been hurt by what's going on here, and we're hoping for a lot of good communication and transparency, which we have been starting to see from the new directors for the Moogle Post. We're hoping to see more of that, and we're hoping that we can hopefully come through this and still have a fairly awesome magazine coming out of it, because the magazine itself was great, and we do hope that it'll be able to get through something like this. At the same time, we don't want to trivialize the concerns of people who have had some really unpleasant experiences.
Yes. Thank you. That actually was a very eloquent way of putting my sentiments.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Oh, man, I should totally do PR. Wait, no, I like my life.
All right. Let's start with some news that we just got this week. Patch 4.35 has been announced to be released for July 3rd.
Yay.
So we will be seeing the new Deep Dungeon, Heaven on High. as well as a continuation of Hildebrand side quests.
The insides of Heaven on High were very different from how I was expecting them to look.
They look very nice, actually.
I mean,
I hate going in there for once.
Why?
I can't wait for Heaven on High.
It's gonna be nice. I'm actually looking forward to it as well. Though I have to get a job up to a proper level so I can level it up using that. Otherwise, I'll be running 70s.
I've got a few jobs ready. I've got Warrior, Dark Knight, White Mage, I think, or is it Astrologian? One of them, either way.
Very cool.
I can't wait.
They have updated the patch 4.3 site, so if you want to go check that out.
They did announce one other thing they're changing in that, which I was rather impressed by. They are making some changes to the various searches that allow you to look for items on your character and on various retainers and the like, to give you much easier ways to actually look at the output, so you don't have to just have it flood your chat log. Yep,
that actually I think was going to be part of the discussion, but yes.
Oh, sorry, totally missed that part of the notes.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Next bit of information we got this week was a new screenshot contest. From the notes on the Lodestone. The Make It Rain campaign is in full effect, well, until tomorrow night, leaving us with a golden opportunity. After all, MGP is as good as gold in the Manderville Gold Saucer. As you're earning these dazzling prizes with your mountains of MGP, take a moment to flaunt your favorites, from mounts to minions and more. The community team challenges you to capture a screenshot of your most prized possession from the Gold Saucer. What winnings have you been enjoying the most? Show off for us and present your favorite item in a creative and original manner for a chance to earn yet another prize on top of it all.
Now, as always, these announcements have been written in code, but I can translate. Send us your bunny tights, cheesecake, and beefcake shots. More bunny tights, beefcake, and cheesecake shots. More!
They want to see that row ass.
Why?
There actually was... So the Mr. Face crew put together a rather impressive pride display, including plenty of bunny full costumes in metallic colors to make the full rainbow.
That's amazing.
Impressive.
Denmo does some amazing things. You have to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was still somewhat staggering. They apparently put on a big performance at the Jumbo Cackpot drawing last weekend.
That's cool.
But yeah, so yeah, basically, show off what you got for your bunny suit, or whatever you want. It's going to be the same standard prize that you can choose from: Noble Barding, Bluebird earrings, Mandragora choker, yada yada yada.
Flood them with pictures of Rogadin butts.
What about my Lalafell?
Yeah, sure.
We put a link to the page out on the Lodestone in the Twitch notes, and we'll also put that in the show notes as well for those listening on the podcast. All right. Some other information that came from the E3 week. The companion app has been scheduled for a late July release, pending approval from the iOS and Google Play stores. So we'll see more information on that as the time gets closer. Are you guys looking forward to using any of the stuff from that?
Yeah. The chat will be fun.
Yep, because we're gonna have.
But I've got Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
It will be nice because I'm sure there's some people who don't want to necessarily use, Discord or something like that. Because I'm not a huge fan of the mobile app, to be honest with you. It crashes on me quite frequently. But I'm interested to see how well this works.
I am actually kind of looking forward to being able to do some rearrangement and sorting out of my retainers during idle moments elsewhere.
That would be nice to do as well. Some of the paid features could be interesting depending on how much they actually cost to use.
It sounded like there were two types of currency involved. I would guess that one of them is one that regenerates periodically. So it's kind of here is a predetermined amount.
What is it? If I'm rightly.
Here's a predetermined amount of server load we're going to allow, and if you want more than that, then you need to pay for it.
Yeah, because it's going to be a Koopa Nuts and Moogle coins.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you can purchase a subscription to get access to more Koopa Nuts and as well as some premium features as well.
Such as the ability to pay for another retainer.
See, now I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I said, I'm hoping that once this app comes out, we'll actually see what they actually meant by that. I'm hoping they mean you can actually get another retainer included with the cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it really makes sense to just give somebody the ability to buy another retainer to pay, by paying for this app. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, we'll see once it actually comes out.
Exactly. The other big thing that was announced during the E3 week was the Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter World collaboration.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Do you guys play Monster Hunter World at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Not as much of that, but
out on PC.
Not as much of that, though. I'm planning to start soon. But I was actually pleased to read there was an interview talking about the Monster Hunter World stuff, and it was kind of fun to see that Yoshi P actually started out on the same thing of Monster Hunter that I did.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. Woo!
Yeah, I played that one.
I started on the original Monster Hunter that came out for PS2. I was actually able to beta test that, and I actually wasn't a fan of it.
No, I loved Freedom Unite. I killed like half the things in the game using the bow.
So we'll have to see what this brings. I guess I'm not familiar with what Rathalos is. Or that little...
Rathalos is the thing you need to kill about 200 times, and maybe this time it'll drop its ruby.
Okay, so it's basically like Final Fantasy XI then.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff about it, but it is a fairly iconic monster.
Okay. Similar to... Because we get Rathalos and some little cat guy.
A feline. Or I think they call it a palico now.
A palico, yes.
Palicos, yeah.
And then they get Cactuars and King Behemoth.
And I was rather pleased to see, like, they were concerned about one of the big things in the Monster Hunter setting is being able to break off monster parts, which can change the attacks they use, lets you get extra loot from them. And they're like, are they going to really let us do that with an iconic Final Fantasy monster? And Yoshi P was like, yeah, we want it to fit in. We don't want it to be like it's doing this. It's because they won't let us break off the stuff. It's because it's Final Fantasy. So yeah, break off anything you need.
So Behemoth horns are going to become a thing there, huh?
I would imagine you could probably also slice the tail.
Yeah.
Make some steaks.
They also talked about his feet
Behemoth
as well.
also Buko. Hey, Seyrr?
Well, I'm down. Oh, well, how would you sauce that?
Roland berries.
Anyways.
Anyhow, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, they announced the Feast Regional Championships will be starting on the launch of patch 4.35. That might be our ticket into a FanFest, Luna.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, good job. Good luck.
But there's not much more information on it at this point. They just had a little blurb. The strongest teams in Japan, North America, and Europe will compete to reign supreme in their region. The upcoming special site will have details on the schedule, rules, and more, so keep an eye out for further announcements. There is, however, one thing to bear in mind. Once the preliminaries begin, PvP teams may be formed and disbanded as normal, but new members cannot be added. Now is the time to prepare a PvP team for the Feast Regional Championships. Now, like I said, from my understanding, each region's winners are going to be able to go to FanFest to compete on the big stage. And it's going to be paid by Square Enix.
Nice.
So that's why I'm saying, if you want to get in.
I kind of hope it doesn't end up being like the Ballista Championships from that FF11 FanFest.
Oh yeah, my team actually got to that.
God, that was so painful to watch.
Well, I mean, it'll probably be more along the lines of what we had at FanFest 2 years ago. It actually was pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine. No, the one that back at the first FanFest, it was the first and possibly the last Ballista Royale.
Yep, it was.
And it was a North American team against a Japanese team. And the Japanese team was using some new tactic where it pretty much it ended up being a complete shutout.
Yeah.
You could hear the mood in the tent dropping.
Not fun.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're going to avoid having something like that happen.
Well, each region's going to have their own, so.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to take the 3 winners and put them up against each other in like a frontlines type of thing.
Could be interesting.
I mean, I think that would be kind of cool, but I doubt they'll do that. Anyway, it was also announced that the Final Fantasy XIV team is going to be heading to the Japan Expo in Paris this year as well. The team will be waiting for you in Villepinte, and with the usual battle challenge, goodies, and a fan gathering. So Chille, you gonna go to Paris?
I've been to Paris once, never again.
Not even to get an I defeated Tsukuyomi shirt?
No.
See, I changed that because we don't want to make it problematic.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that nobody else caught on that. Is it just we're that bad?
We're just that bad, it looks like.
I'm
just that bad.
What happened?
The I defeated the latest Primal T-shirt.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who gets that as being really bad?
No, Seyrr got it too, but
yeah,
at least I recall you did 2 weeks ago.
Don't remember this.
I beat Tsukuyomi.
Oh no.
See,
that's how this entire problem happened.
That's the T-shirt, and that's like I said, they didn't. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh.
So they're gonna have that in France now. Then there was very little news about Final Fantasy VII Remake at E3, much to everybody's kind of disappointment.
We got some news saying that it's doing very well after E3, but
yeah,
that's
from Jamatsu. There was a little article in the latest weekly Famitsu that basically said we're trying to figure out when we'll put out the next news release. The direction was decided where we're going to go when we change to internal development, but it's going well. Blah, blah, blah,
I mean,
blah.
They absolutely know that anything they say is going to be analyzed, over-analyzed, probed into the depth of its whatever, so...
Look how long it's been in development, though.
Yeah.
I mean, not that long, really, when you think about it, because if it's true that they took, like, 2 years ago, it's only been in development for about 2 years.
Well, didn't they announce it in 2014?
Yeah, but they said that they scrapped the stuff that's cyber connected and restarted the project.
They started over basically a year and a half ago then.
Because, I mean, that is the other thing. I am sure that they are scared to death of fucking this up in any ways. Yeah. Because do you have any idea how unforgiving people will be if you fucking up FF7?
Yeah, I understand. It's just I'm hoping it doesn't take the same type of development cycle that Final Fantasy 15 did.
I also remember that the producer didn't even know he was making the game when it was announced.
Oh no!
Whoa! Really?
Yeah, he had no. He actually it's footage that the guy on stage got a phone call after the E3 presentation, telling him what the hell.
Oh, hey, by the way,
I wasn't even told. Yeah.
Congratulations! You're working on the biggest game of this century.
Yeah.
Come on, dude! Check your email.
Please look forward to it. One thing that they did say that I liked about it, though, is while preserving the atmosphere of the original, the scenario will dig deeper into the characters, including members of Avalanche. So we're going to get a little bit more lore behind the characters, which will be nice to see.
I always wanted to know more about Jesse.
And now you will.
We're going to learn so much more about Biggs and Wedge.
Yeah, because they never really do delve into the Biggs and Wedge characters, do they?
Not really. It's like, there's there. That guy's a fat one. They're kind of funny. Oh, look, they're pancaked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Oh, Jesse's kind of into Cloud. Oh, she's also pancaked.
All right. So, Seyrr, you wanted to do some gotcha roundup then this week.
I figured I should at least include the notes on that. Let's see. I guess I will stop playing Mobius long enough to actually say something about Mobius. There we are. So for Final Fantasy Record Keeper, the Summer Sun Festival is reaching full swing. They have Realms on Parade draws for all of the realms available as of today.
Yep.
Several lucky draws. Experienced players, I would suggest skipping the Overstrike one, but I don't know. Lucky draws are fun. They are going to be having the special festival draw banners shortly, which will be introducing the second generation chains, as well as some very hyped Ultra Soul Breaks. They also have started the new style of record dungeon, which involves going through not just the battles of the various past Final Fantasies, but the story as well. And those seem to have been pretty well received so far.
I'm running out of inventory space, is all I have to say.
Buy more inventory space. It's worth it. We'll talk about that later.
But I need all my mithril for the draws.
You can spare one or two.
But
so Defu, the city of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia is having a special giveaway to celebrate the arrival of Locke in their sister game, Dissidia NT. We're also expecting Ash's event and the arrival of a new Lost Chapters series featuring Tidus, Aiko, and Balthier in about a week. There's still time left to make Snow your husband, though, or Cater your waifu, or Penelo your absurd support dancing goddess.
I thought she was gone, though. Or that event was done.
So Penelo stuff shows up on Snow's banner.
Okay.
And I did get her 35 CP weapon. Oh my god, she is an insane support beast. Like, it's kind of actually frightening just how much attack power she can generate.
I don't know. I've been taking everybody who's been putting out squalls and with high attack stat because he's just helping me to get through a lot of the.
I mean, that's the type of thing, and I see this in multiplayer where it's like people will disband if you bring anyone other than Lightning or maybe Papalymo or whatever. And it's like, no, you start bringing the people with the unusual characters because they usually have a damn good idea of how to play them.
Then again, I've been trying to just build up a lot of crystals so I can get that level up.
So this is the point where I will mention that I have empirically determined the current maximum rank is 251.
Why not 255?
Because it's 1 plus pretty much every 10 levels of a character. So if you have, say, 50 characters all at level 50, then it's 251. I'm making good life choices, Klaus.
Are you close?
No?
Yes.
I'm not close. I'm there.
Seriously?
Yes.
All of your
everyone
characters
is
are
max
50?
level. Yes.
Well, it'll go higher once we get new characters.
I'm making good life choices. So anyways, Mobius is having a very evilest month in Palamecia. Alongside the addition of the Judge Magister job to the Hall of Fame, they're having the return of the Final Fantasy XII Mandragoras event and the High Seraph Ultima Battle Tower event. They still have the ongoing revival of the first anniversary celebration as well.
Yeah, I'm still working on those dungeons.
Yep, and Brave Exvius, I have no idea. I didn't even get to it, and it's the one I don't play regularly at this point. They're probably doing a thing.
Yeah, there's stuff and things going on. I log in to get my daily bonus, and that's it.
I mean, at a certain point, you're like, why am I even going for the daily bonus?
Because maybe I'll go back to it. I don't know.
So yeah, that's
what
what's
happened. But yeah.
And I could find myself a billionaire tech boyfriend.
Well, you do live in Silicon Valley.
So it could happen.
Yes.
But it's probably not going to happen.
Well, not with that attitude, it's not.
So anyways, Klaus.
Anyway, so not this last week, but the week before was E3. And there was a lot of info on a lot of games that was dropped, including our beloved Final Fantasy XIV. So as part of Square Enix's showing at E3, Yoshi P had a live letter on the first day. And the first part of that was a big Q&A from, taken with questions taken from the official forums. So, did you guys get a chance to watch that?
I did not.
Did you read up about any of what happened during that? Anybody?
A bit of it. Anyone else? I'm not the only person here, right?
I think I started watching it, but then I kind of drifted away from it, so...
I was watching it and then I got hungry, so I went out for lunch.
Did you get a cheeky Nando's? Well, some information that came from that. I mean, there was a lot of questions that came out of that. A lot of them were not the greatest because people seem to want to ask the same questions over and over again, even though they've been answered over and over again. Some things like this one is interesting. Are there any plans to create a search function for those players looking for a free company? And Yoshi said, while we are actually having the UI team work on this, plans are starting to get drafted. Maybe not for the next major patch, but sometime soon.
They also did mention that they are working on allowing players to share their housing with alts.
That's a nice thing as well. So if you have multiple characters on a server, while you can no longer buy a house for that alt, you can have them hopefully in the near future, share the house you've purchased already. That's
But who
cool.
really has space to share with their alt?
I do, because I hold a lot of things on my alt. So
No, I'm talking about for your in the house. Because you can only have 3 different guests.
No, they're talking about actually putting something in to where the house is linked to your account, not to your character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you won't need to make a spare. You won't need a spare space for a guest.
Correct.
Yeah.
The way it's
Okay.
sounding to me, you'll still be able to share it with 3 friends.
Because to me, it sounded like that you could add your alt account onto the guest list.
Oh, I'm hoping that's not the case.
There used to be a way that you could do that, but they kind of patched it out, so you can't now.
Yeah.
Well, that was your friends list, and then you could add it as a guest then.
This question I thought was kind of interesting. Can you add a feature to G-Pose so we can view our LB3s outside of combat?
Right.
While it would be cool, he said, it's something that the action can't be performed without a target. It's technically not impossible. It's just we haven't had that discussion before, so give us more time.
So the phrasing is, it's not like we are not having a discussion, which that's totally a little bit ambiguous phrasing, but I think he's trying to say it's something that we're talking about.
Probably after they read the question.
But I get the impression for a lot of these is they've definitely had hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could do such and such? And for a lot of them, there is a significant technical hurdle. Where do you actually direct your resources? And so hearing what the people want does give them a little bit more of an idea of which of these to pursue.
I wonder if it'd be possible for them to make an invisible target that appears when you load up G-Pose.
That might be a way that they'd go about it.
Or maybe they'll just be able to get the move out, similar to the way they introduced the emote for Mega Flare. I mean, that could be a possibility?
Yeah, but there's multiple different emotes that have to do.
Plus, this also means that you have an emote where people can start dropping meteors in the middle of a city.
But make it so it can be done within G-Pose.
It's maybe. But it sounds like the issue is not just the calling up the animation, but that does, as it's coded right now, it specifically requires a target for it to be on.
Yeah, the damage dealing ones. Because as Silverwolf pointed out in the chat, the healer LB3 can be used without a target. You just hit the button and you go.
And the tank, of course.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the AoE ones require a target. No, they are.
Why couldn't they just do that with a striking dummy or something, though?
So, I mean, if you have a striking dummy, then that could work. But are you always going to have a striking dummy in your G-Pose?
There's areas that you can go that there's striking dummies in, though.
That's still limited to places where you have a striking dummy available.
I said the easiest thing they could do is just make it when you're in G-Pose, an invisible enemy is spawned.
Well, here's the question that I have on that.
I feel like that is not easy at all.
The fact that we can record certain duties at this point. Can we go into G-Pose while watching a recorded duty?
I don't think that makes sense. So no.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the recording of a duty is not actually like recording it with a video camera type thing. It's more of you record all the various inputs you received and you can recreate it from that.
Yes, that's exactly the way that works. So you can view multiple angles and things like that. So I'm wondering if you
need some ability. You need some ability to be able to pause it in the middle of that simulation.
And I think you can.
I feel like this is maybe more technically difficult than we are giving it credit for.
Yeah, just thinking of the tools we currently have.
Some of it may also be, there's often the phrase technical debt people may have heard. The idea that you make a decision early on because it makes writing up this particular bit or making these bits work together more easier. But then later on, there's some complication with some other new thing you want to add. Yeah.
Now this question I liked because I think Seyrr would be interested in it. Will we ever see legacy servers with patch 1.23 for those who want to experience that story?
Yeah, I'm not actually a huge fan of that idea, and I'm kind of glad about their response. They were saying that if we were to physically bring that legacy server back, we'd need to rebuild it into a new ARR, and we had discarded that server. For the scenario we've prepared for the destruction of the realm, it was a gift for the players through those difficult times. that was their live experience, as we don't want to literally bring it back. But we would love to bring an experience to give off that atmosphere to newer players.
Yeah.
We will not recreate the legacy experience.
See, I'm wondering if the question actually didn't mean, can we get something akin to vanilla WoW?
It sounds like they may not even have the hardware that was needed for that at this point. Like, they may not have kept it around.
Yeah.
If you want vanilla Fantasy 14, who are you? Why do you exist?
Well, it's because they
I
want
like
their 1,000 polygon pots.
I mean, I could see it also just for research purposes, for the, hey, it's interesting to know. Like, on its own merits, there's not a whole lot to recommend it. But in the context of this other stuff.
Remember when you couldn't level up because you used all your XP for the day?
That, never happened.
Then you weren't
And
playing
when you
hard
couldn't
enough,
teleport
apparently.
because you had a limited amount of teleports per day.
That did happen.
You didn't have enough anima, huh?
Yep. And the thing to do there was to find someone who had anima and could give you a ride.
Any of these other questions that you guys thought were interesting during the live letter?
Dodo Mount! Yay!
Yeah, they showed off the Dodo mount and that hairstyle that are going to be coming from the new Heaven on High Deep Dungeon.
There were the obligatory questions about Ishgard housing.
Meh. It's going to be coming
I know it's a
eventually,
translation. I know it's a translation, but that first sentence, even after we've opened up Shirogane as a housing region, there are still people who voice their desire for this. Like, it's totally just me, but I've totally read a little bit of exasperation into that. It's like, we just gave you a Shirogane, and you're still going on about Ishgard.
Because we're out of houses, bitch.
No, we're not.
Well, we're out of larges and mediums.
Yeah, smalls, at least on Ultras, there's still quite a few smalls.
Only in the Goblet on Hyperion. Very rarely will you find
yeah.
one in the other zones.
I had an alt in on the Unicorn server actually, and there's actually a lot of mediums and larges still left over there. So
Is Unicorn a preferred server?
yes, it is.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, these do exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not changing
And-
servers to get a large house, though.
Some people will. Some people want it that much.
Some people want snow houses, though.
Yeah.
There's housing items to give you snow.
But some people want them in the snow areas.
Well,
some people
there
want
are
houses
because I live in Minnesota and it's
some people want
so
castles,
no.
Luna. Let them have their castle, damn it.
No.
But I mean, they did say explicitly that this is not an easy thing to do, and they do not have plans. If there was an opportunity, then Ishgard would be the logical spot.
Yoshi P just basically went, no, fuck you. No snow for you.
We'll give
like,
you more
if we
wards
ever-
in existing places, but fuck Ishgard.
Yeah. It's more like if we ever have a reason, because actually adding a new housing district as opposed to just expanding wards in existing ones, like expanding wards in existing ones, you don't have to create new art assets. You don't have to create new models of the area.
Though Silverwolf has actually a good idea there. If they can't have the housing district, I mean, can we have the Ishgard housing exterior?
Now that might fly a little more easily, though I do wonder how some of those might look in certain types of areas.
I mean, we do have the Shirogane Castle, the Far
I
Eastern
suppose
Castle.
An alpine chalet could work in some parts of the Lavender Beds or the Mist.
I just want my goddamn castle.
Like the one.
You're an adventurer!
Yeah? Doesn't mean I don't have aspirations to have my own castle.
Just like when I was doing this storyline, I met my favourite Lalafell. Well, one of my favourite Lalafells, and my dream is to just be like him. And once I retire as the Warrior of Light, I want to lay on the beach with cat girls fanning me and bringing me drinks.
Oh my
for,
god.
For a second, I thought you were dreaming of being cut in half. Too soon?
Wow. Klaus went there.
Too soon?
Too soon.
I don't want to own a castle. I'm a Lalafell. That would be too much walking.
He's hanging right upstairs, Klaus. How could you?
Well, you have a picture of what's his face, the one Lalafell guy.
Taleji
Yeah, he's
Adeleji.
upstairs.
No, he's still alive, isn't he? No.
You're thinking of... Huh.
Spoilers.
Who am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway, moving on.
You're thinking of the one who owns Vesper Bay.
No, that's who Chille's thinking of.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Gegujuru.
No, Gegeruju owns Costa del
Costa,
Sol.
okay. Oh my.
I
Anyway,
want wine.
okay. So then, anything
hang
else you
on,
want to
quick-
talk about with the Q&A from the live letter?
So quick thing, Lolo Rito is the one who owns Vesper Bay in the Waking
Okay.
Sands.
Yes. Okay. Lola Rito's
Gegeruju owns Costa del Sol.
Yep. And Lola Rito's the live one, and Teleji is the one that got sliced in half.
Yes. Lolo Rito is the one who made a rather tasteless joke about Teleji Adeleji getting sliced in half.
I like him.
Yeah, he's kind of great.
Yeah. Even though he's kind of evil, but he's kind of great. But he is a potato, so potatoes are evil.
I'm not that evil.
That evil. Quote unquote. So, moving on. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check this one out, but there was a Dengeki interview as well that was posted out on the FFXIV subreddit.
Yeah, I was actually much more interested in that one. It had a lot of interesting stuff about the development of Uwu. I hate calling it that.
I want to throw a shout out to Carrier of Light. Almost looks like Carrie Roffle Light, actually. But they put a lot of information together. They helped to translate this Dengeki interview. And they put a lot of the important bits down. I linked the actual Reddit the subreddit thread in the Twitch chat. I'll also put it in the show notes. So they talked a bit about... the first thing that I linked in here was there were some third-party tools that were used by some of the Ultimate Raiders, and I'm surprised at Yoshi's response to this. So basically, certain third-party tools allow players to capture and show packets sent from the servers earlier than they should have been known. They're specifically talking about the Titan jails, which initially they were trying to figure out, who they were going to be targeting, but this tool would tell them who it was going to be targeting, so they could basically take care of the mechanic a little bit earlier than what was anticipated.
This was using ACT, by the way.
Really? ACT has that functionality?
Yeah, it's using the speaker function. Yeah, because how ACT works, it grabs the packets that's why it's not 100% legal, because that's how you work out the damage and stuff. Basically, it uses a plugin in of ACT, not ACT itself. It's just a plugin extension where it will say different mechanics as they happen. Callouts.
Okay.
So yeah. Again, don't ban me. I play on PS4.
You are able to. You can know about these things without using them yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware of the functionality of some of these things, I guess, but he said he doesn't feel that it was a crucial of a problem, so he doesn't see it as being as problematic as some people would anticipate it being. I'm not sure that I quite agree with that, but if Yoshi P says it must be all right, I mean, maybe he knows how difficult they tuned it.
And I mean, it's also, if it's something that's, I think it's also something where it's like the challenge of the fight is not figure out how to get through this one part and then all the stuff after is easy. So if it's something that's earlier in the fight, it does feel like it's a little bit less big of.
And it depends on how much time you're given anyway, because the goals are never instant anyway. So you'll see the cast going on the players before it happens, probably.
Gotcha.
Right.
So chances are it literally gives them maybe another second or two before it happens.
And if it does turn out, so I don't know about the mechanics. Is it something where it's actually random, or is it something where you can figure out who's?
I think it's only on DPS.
But it picks a random DPS.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Again, I don't know all the mechanics. So
I haven't set foot into it, so
I mean,
full
if it was
disclosure, I have no idea.
If it's something where understanding of the mechanics means that you'd be able to work out a lot of that or something close to that anyway. I can see them seeing it less as big of a deal. If it's a no one can possibly know and being surprised is part of it versus you will have an idea that something like this will happen and you'll need to account for it, then I think there's a difference in how they would regard that.
It's like Susano. You know about when you get trapped in that?
Mm-hmm.
You're actually on the last of your list, aggro list, if you're the one trapped. So you know where you put your move to by pressing the last one on your list.
Makes sense.
Though he did say this, to counter this in future content, they will need to add another layer of protection. They want to change the timing and how they send the packets and improve how the effects and animations allow you to detect mechanics in order to confuse the third-party tools. So basically, it's something they're going to be adding in some dummy packets or something along those lines.
And I think it comes to a level of like, we don't hugely like this. We don't want it happening. It's a small enough deal that we're not going to expend a lot of resources on this particular one, but we'll try to counter it for the next one.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was interesting that they did fully address it and say that it was a thing, but they're not going to throw the band hammer down.
I mean, like with so many things, they're honest about this is a reasonable use of our resources. This is not. We only have so many resources. They're fairly explicit about that, a lot more than a lot of others are, and that's something that I've really appreciated.
Let's see.
While we're talking about Ultimate, someone's found a glitch in Ultimate that's pretty exploitative, really.
Oh yeah, it has to do with the enrage mechanic, doesn't it?
Correct. Can't remember exactly what you got to do to trigger the glitch. From what I can tell, it's the same glitch as 07S in a way. Basically, in 07S you get virus, but they fixed this glitch, so don't even try and doing it now. But basically, it's like rot, where you had to spread it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you died and got raised and you had the invulnerability from being rezzed and someone ran to you with the virus, it would make the virus disappear completely and skip the mechanic. From what I could tell from reading the stuff on the Ultimate Weapon is it picks people and then kills them and you can't raise them when it enrages. It just does I think it does tanks, healers, DPS, one by one.
Well, actually, how it is, it's based off of the amount of damage that was done in the fight.
Okay.
So it goes from least damage to most damage, which is why people think it does healers, tanks, DPS, because that's generally how the damage spread is.
Yep.
But if you die during that mechanic and raise you and you're the one that targets you, it then just sort of glitches out and then it just stands there doing nothing.
Yep. So they have said that if people exploit this, that they will be subject to punishment.
I actually rather like the bit of the interview where they're talking about that mechanic. Mosley says, even the part where Ultimate Weapon deletes the Warriors of Light one at a time has a lot to do with his Chunibyo? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Exploding. Note, Chunibyo is a disease that 14-year-olds catch, where they try to be rebels or act cool and talk about things others don't, like saying, I have to hold down this rage so I don't destroy the world in public, and usually something they regret doing after they grow up. and talking about it, that final enrage move being this thing where it's like you're kind of passing the torch, like the ones who did the least are kind of like, it's like, oh no, I'll take the hit, and then it's each trying to prolong it a little longer. Like, it does have a kind of cool atmosphere to it.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny way that they explained it.
It makes me think of Ruby Weapon, to be honest, where where you went in and it killed two of your party members straight away.
So that's why you exploited it and had them go in dead.
Yeah.
I was also interested to see the dev who was in charge of Uwu. He described him as a true genius who created every binding coil of Bahamut floor apart from turn 3. And he always said he wanted to make a true Twintania fight.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting little bit of a read. He has not disclosed this developer's name either.
Yeah, a lot of people are speculating about who's done what for various things. They do say that they have other developers they're working on training to be able to make these fights.
But currently,
he worked on the eye level stuff as well and stat weights.
Yeah. I mean, there's
But-
only 2 or 3 currently that have the experience to be able to do one at that difficulty.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about how one of the things he had wanted with Twintani was this idea that there's important stuff you have to do at the beginning that will become important near the end, and the idea of where you drop the Neurolinks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was actually, I liked that fight, that you had to plan it out in advance in order to make sure that the last phases would be able to be taken care of, properly without, too much damage.
Right.
You
It's not
remember
just
when we
a-
went through that in the old Free Company, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun learning that. I mean, I really enjoyed T5 because
It was
of
so
those types.
satisfying to get through. There's
Yes.
definitely some stuff about the group that ticked me off from time to time, but just getting through it was so satisfying.
Just the experience of raiding it with the group was a lot of fun.
All I know is I had the worst and best experience in T5, I think, ever, when it was new.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, because I had my really laggy experience and I had my PS3, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I ran down to fight Twintania. We wiped, but my attack went off after we wiped, and we all walked back to the start. And we stood there. A second later, Twintania flew up and killed me.
Oh, was this before they changed the map?
Yeah. No, this was when the map was changed still. She flew up, killed me, and then I got
and then
got
flew back, I
raised.
think it.
Yeah,
And then
no, I
reset?
got raised and she came back. Killed me
Chille,
again.
what did I say? You break the game.
Yeah,
you have
because-
hack.
We've had that happen where somebody will go in and
Yeah.
aggro Twintania and then they leave, but they only go so far out and then they reset.
No, she flew right back to the entrance, killed me, and then flew back in. I was in the party chat, and everyone just burst out laughing.
What
confused.
did you do to piss off Twintania, Chille?
Well, my DOT went off as we wiped because of the lag.
And so,
So
it
it
got another
cropped
tick
up
in
and-
and another bit of damage.
Yeah,
Well, Chille, that just goes to show don't piss off a dragon.
it's still not as bad as my Titan, where I got hit by a landslide, but the game didn't trigger that I got hit by a landslide, and I ran right back up the mountain.
Yeah,
Nice.
Luna, you're right. Chille hacks.
I told you.
Chille hacks.
Oh,
Anything else you wanted to talk about in the little portion of Uwu, Ultimate Weapon?
I mean, I was definitely amused at some of the descriptions of that. Talking a little bit of, oh, that's the next portion.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely like that bit about the.
About the what?
Now we'll never know.
He's decided to leave us.
How you set it up.
You
Oh.
totally blanked out.
Damn thing. Well, I was kind of rambling. I just really like that idea of the whole, hey, just because you've gotten onto this next phase, it's not like you're starting fresh. That you do want to actually set things up early in the encounter to come together at a climactic moment.
Okay. Then they talked a bit about the FanFest interview, or the FanFest portion of it. So that was another big announcement we got during the live letter, was some more information regarding FanFest. We did put an article out on phoenixonradio.com if you want to check out some of the specifics regarding information on when tickets will be available, where to get your hotel, yada, yada, yada. So that's out there as well. So let's see, what did they ask him about?
So, I mean, the big things that I took from this bit, he talks about that he'd said in previous interviews, but he had expected the release of Stormblood to be the peak of FF14, just in terms of like the size of the MMO market, how gamers use their time. He figured that this would be kind of the point where players would be peaking out, and so he's been pleasantly surprised at being wrong on that.
Because it's
they've,
been the most concurrent subscribers that they've had in the game.
Mm-hmm. So, and they say, I felt this game has a larger possibility, and we decided now that we've come this far, we may as well keep going as far as we can, and we are planning and moving forward with the next huge flow. So it's interesting to see a lot of the design, I'm guessing, was going with that, okay, this is going to be kind of like the big peak climax thing for it, and seeing that, okay, now that it's not, how are they changing their plans?
Moonbase confirmed.
Well, they also talked a bit
Gunk
about the
Blast
fact...
confirmed.
about the fact that the fan festival streams are going to be free, and I felt like he was showing a lot of consideration for the fan base there, talking about how they tried to do it with the previous year's streams, and there were problems leading up to it, such as buying a stream from another country, not having good quality of sound, trouble with watching the archives, stuff with people's personal information and tying it to their Square Enix accounts, and just saying, hey, this is way too much to make people jump through. So they're going to the decision to give the news information to everyone, so it doesn't become these people get the information first and then it leaks out, but kind of we're going to share it with everyone. But then also having a festival special by having the concert event be the paid item.
Okay, so now here's something I want to expand on this now, because when we got the announcement that all of the FanFest festivities will be live streamed for free, minus the concerts, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Do I get the bike if I buy the concert?
You cannot buy the concert.
The bike will be sold on the Mug Station.
Yes, the bike will be sold on the Mug Station as well as the minions.
I'm calling it now. It won't be sold till next year.
Probably. Not until after the Japanese Fan Fest.
But whenever it gets sold.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems fine to me. Like, I kind of like the idea that there is something a little bit... And I mean, like, concerts seem like a thing that's a bit more okay for it. I know there have been a lot of Final Fantasy concerts. I don't make it to all of them. That's okay. I don't get to hear every performance, but I'm still getting all the news. I'm still getting to actually hear the lore stuff without having to hear it interpreted through someone else who's totally missed important phrasings and changed the entire meaning.
No,
the actual information gets shared with everyone, and that makes me happy.
I am
sad, you don't get to be trolled at FanFest where they like, oh, you can go buy the book. Sorry, it's sold out already.
Yeah, that one was...
That was a thing. I
don't think they realized just how bad it had gone, and I like to think they felt at least a little chagrined about that whole thing.
Like I said, I am sad that we're not going to get to see the concerts, because I mean, I did watch all the concerts from all the other fan fests, and I thought that was amazing to be able to do that, because it was nice to see the differences in the musicians that they brought in.
But I mean, if it comes to a thing where you get to see everything, then at a certain point it does become, why actually go to the Fan Fest?
Well, I still want to go to Fan Fest. Don't get me wrong.
Well, sure, but I mean, if you are actually able to access all the stuff from, like, that takes away a lot of incentive for a lot of people. I mean, like, yes, you can meet up with people, but you could also meet up with them somewhere where the hotels are going to be cheaper.
That's true. I guess I do kind of understand that. Now, I guess the question is how much are they going to charge for the mount and the minions?
$13.
Well, I'm betting $24 for the mount and what, $7 for the minions.
That mount is the Advent Children bike, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. The
SDS Fenrir.
SDX Fenrir, I think.
It's gonna fly, isn't it?
Yes, and it's gonna go underwater.
I'm gonna say $30 for the minion plus the mount.
I'm just going to have.
I don't know why I put my finger. Yeah.
I still want it though.
So many feelings.
Still want it.
I hope we get I want a leather outfit. My Lalafell could be like a biker.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could do that with what we have now.
Hell's potatoes.
Oh God.
Maybe use the Animos pot helmet and the Animos jacket, and then you've got the leather jacket and like the helmet.
Yes.
And then color them metallic pink, because why not?
Well, yeah.
And you call your gang the Hot Potatoes.
Hot potatoes.
That sounds more like a strip joint.
Hey, maybe it can be both.
Oh, I made a bad thing again, didn't I?
It could be a BDSM themed thing.
I made a bad thing!
Seyrr, why do you
made
do
a
this?
bad thing into a really good thing.
No. No.
Well, it depends on maybe the audience thinks it will be a good thing.
No.
Depends on who Chille's trying to attract. Come on.
Oh my God, there is a lot of interview here.
There is a lot of interview. We don't have to go through all of it.
Yeah, I think maybe, like, unless there's anything else to highlight, I'm wondering if we should start to call it good at this point.
I mean,
like, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to put it in there just to see if there was something that you guys wanted to discuss versus having to go back and forth to a whole bunch of different websites.
Here we go. There's one here that I like the look of.
Yes.
Now that Bard can play music, other jobs are wondering if one day they too will get out of own combat job actions. Do you think this is possible?
Yeah, that actually was a good question that was brought up.
Yoshi, just because the performance is actually something that a Bard can do was implied in the sort of a Bard's job, people might have gotten the impression that was assigned to a particular job, but the thinking behind it was quite different, the opposite actually. We wanted people to be able to play music in the world arose, and from the idea came. How do we make that happen?
Well, we have bards, so
yeah. But where's my monk? I don't know. Meditate, chi thing.
We've got ritual prayer.
But yeah, they talk about it might not be in the best interest to think about, what job will get an out-of-combat action next. Rather, think about what new ideas the development team will have for out-of-battle actions.
And then
so it
what
becomes
jobs to then tie them to.
Yeah, what job would fit with that.
That's actually a great answer, I thought.
And I think it, especially for players who have their own favorite jobs, it can get very easy to start seeing in this reductionist thing, everything is about whether my job is being favored or disfavored right now.
I mean, look at Dragoon. We got the play dead emote.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Really, Klaus? Really?
But yeah, just thinking of it in terms of what would I like my character to be able to do, and then after that you can think about, is there a job that makes the most sense with?
Yeah. So also, if you come up with a cool idea, submit it to the official forums, and then hopefully you can get a cut of the money, right, or whatever. I don't know.
Also, with how they favor jobs expansions, I don't want my job to be favored ever again. Dragoon was so bad when Heaven's War came out, and then Monk was so bad when Stormblood came out. So no, please don't favor.
You got Brotherhood though.
It was pretty rubbish when it first came out, though.
Did you lose your stacks too much?
I lost my stacks.
My stacks. All right, I think that we can probably call that portion of the interview good.
Yeah, there's lots of other interviews, so I would also, I'm sure Klaus is about to, and I would also encourage you all to go ahead and read through it yourself. Yep. Lots of fascinating stuff.
I will.
We're also going to talk. Gamerscape had a interview as well.
Yeah, I did miss that one as I was looking up stuff, but you can go to gamerscape.com to get that information. But I am linking a twinfinite.net interview that was also we if we had more time, we would discuss that one too. But I did link that in the Twitch chat, and if you want to see more, I will also put it in the show notes. There's just a lot of information.
Silver Aurora, if you want summoners to actually summon, spoilers, go play Heaven on High. Then you can summon Ifrit, Gurud, and Titans.
Ooh, that's right, because we will be getting them as actions within the Deep Dungeon.
Yeah, they talked about it for so long, and I guess they found a way to make it work.
So if there's anything else that you guys want us to talk about down the road, just let us know. We can send us an email, podcast@phoenixradio.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at PHXDNRadio. You can join us on our Discord server. The link is below in the stream information, as well as you can find us out on Facebook too. So Seyrr, we haven't had a lore segment in a while because it's been really, really busy.
Yep.
And you've been really, really busy.
Yep.
So, this is one that you've been working on for what, about a month and a half?
I mean, I wouldn't call it that. That builds up way too much expectations. I don't think it's that good. Why have you put so much pressure? Breathe.
Seyrr, you're amazing.
Yeah.
We all want to hear about this.
But people have been asking about various jobs, and so I decided I'd go ahead and talk a little bit about Thaumaturges and Black Mages. So, first off, we have the base class that we start with, the Thaumaturges, priests of the death god, kind of. The Thaumaturgy is taught at the Arzenith Ostuary in Ul'dah. That's that one down in the southwest corner. It is a temple to the death aspect of the twin god Naldthal, and the initiates there conduct the rites that usher the dead on the next phase of their journey. We do get told in in-game quests that the spells used by Thaumaturges were actually originally used to prepare the dead for funerary rites. So like ice magic would be used to cool down the body and slow decay, while fire magic would help with purifying the corpse and removing contaminants. And it was only later on that they were like, wait, we could use this on living things. to turn them into dead things. Now, the 1.0 version of Thaumaturgy actually dispensed with the elemental associations entirely, and their powers instead were based largely on astral and umbral. Holy light, fell darkness, kind of the light and dark aspects of the death god thing. In addition to the direct astral and umbral damage, Thaumaturges in 1.0 could drain hit points, magic points, and attributes from their enemies, as well as inflict a pretty wide variety of negative statuses. Now, several of those original abilities were overpowered to the point of being broken. One of the more famous ones was a damage reflection ability, Punishing Barbs, that would use the base damage dealt by the enemy as its basis for the damage reflection, instead of the damage actually taken by the Thaumaturge. So if you had some kind of defense boosting or stone skin effect up, maybe you're taking no damage from the hits, the enemy was still getting the full attack value reflected back to them. And many of the most difficult monsters in the game at the time could actually be soloed by a Thaumaturge.
I'm sure I heard stories of people removing their job stone to go back to Thaumaturge to use some of the abilities.
Yeah, it was just absurdly overpowered there. It was something where it did make people wonder a little bit about just how much testing the battle system had gone through, just because you had this thing that lots of stuff that sounded nice when you described it, but the actual balancing seemed to be completely out the window. Now, the Black Mages, that was something that was added, of course, about, I want to say patch 1.23, or 1.2, somewhere around there, in the legacy stuff was when they started adding the jaws. And Black Mages were added in as a thing that specialized in a couple elements. Black magic in the setting was actually created by Shatoto of the 5th Astral Era civilization of Mach. Now, despite the incredible similarities in name, appearance, personality, this is a different person from Shantoto, the fell sorceress of Windurst in Final Fantasy XI.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, the two very similar. In fact, the an achievement for something relating to Shatoto is actually called oh. Gotta work on your Oju laugh, Klaus.
Sorry.
But Shatoto was also known as Death's Handmaiden, the Black Witch, and the She-Devil, and her incredible magic prowess and cavalier attitude towards pretty much everyone else completely reshaped the history of magic in Eorzea. The meteor spell that is used as the Black Mage LB3 was supposedly developed by Shatoto one afternoon when she got bored and decided, yeah, I'm going to just yank a rock out of space and make it crash down to the earth. And the Stardust Rod, the relic weapon for Black Mages, is modeled after the thaumaturgic rod that was developed and used by Shatoto. The weapon contains fragments of dark matter that are believed to have come from the meteor that she originally called down. And in general, the dark matter that we find is supposedly fragments of that meteor that Shatoto called to Eorzea so many centuries ago. Now, conventional thaumaturgy draws upon, and it's limited by, the ethereal capacity of the caster. They can make their ether rapidly regenerate through proper ethereal alignment, but there's an upper limit to the strength of the effect that can be created because it's being fueled from the caster's ether. Black magic gets around that limitation by drawing upon not just the ether of the caster, but also ether from the environment around them. That allows even weak mages to create very powerful effects. There are a couple trade-offs to this. Now, the ethereal forces that are unleashed by black magic can very easily run out of control. We actually do get to see this in the Heavensward Black Mage quests, when members of a cult try to use black magic without the Gem of Shatoto, the Black Mage Jobstone that apparently helps us focus and direct our powers. And the black magic spells that they use against us actually ignite the ether within their own bodies, burning them alive from the inside. Not a very happy way to go. Even when you are properly casting black magic, the overuse of it draws way too much ether from the environment, and that can throw off the land's ethereal balance or deplete it completely. In the worst cases, this can lead to large-scale environmental damage.
Similar to like the burn?
Exactly. The sixth umbral calamity, the massive flood that ended Mach as well as Omnipore, Nim, and Ascala, among others, was caused by overuse of black and white magic. I actually noticed this completely by accident, and I don't think it was intentional, given how far back a lot of the stuff went, but it still kind of amused me. Black mages use largely fire, ice, and lightning aspected ether. And white mages use largely wind and earth aspected ether. So if both of those are being used like crazy, the only one that's not being used up is the water aspected ether. So I know it's totally something that's probably explained after the fact, but I wonder if the Great Flood was because water was the only one that was left after that much use of the other types.
Well, there is the knockback, that water spell.
Yeah, no one uses Fluid Aura.
But it's there. And a lot of people do use it and get yelled at for using it.
Exactly. If you were in the armies of Omnipore, they wouldn't yell at you. They would like execute you or something. I mean, that always is something I've wondered about, that Conjuring and white magic are supposed to be using earth, wind, and water, and yet there's just that one random little water spell.
Or maybe there were more before the whole flood, and they just decided they didn't want to mess with it.
I mean, if there were, then they would have been using up the water aspect of the ether, and the place would have just been a barren wasteland. Anyways, now, although Shitoto appears to develop black magic purely for the intellectual challenge of it, Mach very quickly saw its potential and adapted it for military use. And as we were saying, this was the single greatest factor in Mach's rise as a regional power in Eorzea, and the single greatest factor in the eventual downfall, because it was that overuse of black magic that depleted the land's ether and led to that great flood. So while I was writing about this and comparing the magic systems to other ones used by other jobs, the big thing I noticed is that magic in Eorzea is pretty much all a question of where is the ether coming from. In fact, any kind of supernatural effect, generally anything where you're using MP, so even something like a paladin's flash ability, that's fueled by manipulating, storing, and releasing ether. Now, for players, that power usually takes the form of MP that does slowly regenerate over time, and regenerates more quickly when you're not in a life-threatening situation. Interestingly, it discusses this in Encyclopedia Eorzea. Most limit break effects are also fueled by ether, where you have large amounts of energy that have been built up by the entire party being channeled into a single powerful effect. The monk ability, Seventh Heaven, has all of that ether being concentrated onto the point of the monk's fist, while the warrior one has them slamming that ether into the ground to cause large columns of earth to erupt and act as a shield. And interestingly, I believe that's why effects like healing someone near death or interrupting dangerous boss actions will also give a boost to that limit break gauge. You have these situations where you have these huge adrenaline surges, these huge pushes in energy, and that's causing a surge in the ether as well.
If I remember rightly, Monk also uses the ether, at least in the cutscenes, we used it to unlock our chakras, to unlock the new moves.
Yep. So pretty much anytime you've got any sort of supernatural thing going on, there's something going on with your ether, whether it's just manipulating in some way or releasing it onto enemies. Everything ends up being ether some way or another. And again, as I was saying, one of the major differentiating factors we see in these different types of magic is where exactly the ether is coming from. So black magic is incredibly powerful because it's not limited by the ether of the caster. I mean, notice Flare, for instance. No matter what, it consumes all of your MP. But whether you have 500 MP or 5,000 MP, you get the same strength of Flare. So the power is not actually being limited by how much MP you currently have. So the big limitation is not your own ether, but how much there is in your surroundings and how quickly you can draw it in and use it. which may be why as you level up, as you gain more intelligence, boost other stats like that, that represents a better ability to draw out and manipulate and channel that ether, leading to stronger damage in your spells. Now, Thaumaturgy uses the caster's natural ether, but it does realign it in various ways to speed up the natural regeneration process or release greater bursts of power. In this case, it's not that you're changing the amount of ether you have, it's changing its elemental alignment in order to take advantage of the various natural properties, which is where you get that astral fire and umbral ice stance. The big thing to remember, not just for these types of magic, but for all magic in Eorzea, is the old economist maxim of Tan Stoffel. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. There is always a cost. The ether is always coming from somewhere, whether it be that it's coming from yourself and the cost is in time to regenerate it, or whether it's that you're drawing it from the environment around you and the cost is in the damage you're doing to that. If it's not immediately obvious where the ether is coming from, you should generally look for some kind of hidden catch. And we actually do see this in a lot of the quests where people will have newfound ethereal powers, and it often turns out that there's something strange going on behind it that we have to do something about. No such thing as a free lunch. Now, just for a couple quick real-world links, the word thaumaturgy itself actually comes from ancient Greek. Thalma, meaning miracle, and then ergon, the other part of it, meaning work. So a thaumaturge is literally a miracle worker, in using magic to create miracles and change things in the physical world. The original usage of it actually referred to certain saints in Christianity who were said to be channels through which God could work miracles, not just one time, but would do this frequently. So these miracle workers or wonder workers were believed to be conduits for divine power. There's also the royal touch, the supposed ability of kings and queens to cure diseases by touch, that was also considered a form of thaumaturgy, of this power that was divine power that was coming through them, emblematic of their divine right to rule. Fun note, the disease that is most commonly associated with the royal touch being able to cure it was scrofula, which is a form of tuberculosis that in actuality was rarely fatal and very frequently would go away on its own anyways. So a lot of those believed instances of the royal touch were almost certainly things that were ripped out of proportion by people who did not necessarily know the mechanics of the specific disease. The actual term thaumaturgy entered the English language in around in the 1500s in the writing of John Dee, noted mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, and philosopher. He has a lot of stuff where he's associated with the development of ideas around magic in Western civilization, but at the time, he was actually complaining about complex devices built using mathematical principles were viewed as magical by uneducated people. That he was creating these things where it's like, he can point to the science that makes this work, but they see it as a miracle worker, someone who is channeling magic to create this. So he seemed kind of exasperated with the whole thing. Black magic, of course, generally refers to the use of magic or supernatural powers for evil purposes, or power that comes from evil entities, which by its nature will end up being evil. That light equals good and dark equals evil duality is ancient. It goes back thousands of years. There's references to it that appear in the Epic of Gilgamesh. So the idea of black magic being this force for destruction, definitely not new. It's about as old as our history itself, it feels like. And that's a bit about thaumaturgy and black magic. Now go forth and nuke things.
Why?
Gotta nuke something.
No, you don't.
Can one of you guys blast him, please?
No, they can't.
But the big question is, when we cover Monk?
I can do Monk next.
Yes!
All right, there you heard it, guys. Thank you, Seyrr. Really appreciate that. But no.
See, this is a time where it would be really awesome to be able to do that media remote.
Yeah. Too bad nobody can see it because you're off screen.
What?
There you go. you're half on screen.
The worst.
You just have really, really bad timing.
Oh my gosh,
apparently.
Luna, I like your dress. I just noticed your dress and I like your dress.
Thank you.
What about my outfit?
Even
Sir?
Necromancer says, naughty Seyrr, don't blast.
What does he know?
A lot.
Let's not even start on this.
Why? Necromancer is amazing. We love you, Necromancer.
Oh my god, I'm going to kill all of you.
You
Not
love him
you,
too.
Luna. Not
Oh,
you, Chille.
yeah, I'm
You guys are
scared.
fine.
Anyway, again, thank you for all of that. And Necromancer says loves all of us too, even Seyrr.
Aw.
Wow.
I am going to kick your butt later.
You can't. Anyway, just going through some of the Twitter interactions we've had. It's been quite an interesting couple of weeks. Like I said, we've been raising funds for Extra Life. I want to throw a huge shout out to Avi at She Heals I Tank for donating last night. That was amazing. And of course, she had to tweet hashtag Bye Bye Beard with the with a gif of NSYNC going bye bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
I would have gone for Bye Bye Birdie, but that works too.
Bye 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 seems to be one of those things that just happens to be, or it's better that than Bye Felicia, I guess. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and now I'm reminded of that Brooklyn Nine-Nine opening where he has them singing I Want It That Way. My sister listened to a lot of boy bands growing
I
up.
want to
Stuff is
shave it
stuck in my
that
head.
way.
tell me why.
I'll find the clip for you. It's actually pretty good.
No, anyway.
I'm aware of what you're doing, and I'm ignoring it.
But let's do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel.
That one's okay.
Do it again now.
So anyways,
At Ty's Day,
Rolling.
they had mentioned in last night's stream that I looked like somebody that I had never heard of. Martin Starr. Apparently, he's an actor on Silicon Valley. So he tweeted a picture of this guy, and there is a little bit of resemblance there. I have to say that. It's
Yeah, I can see
like
it.
your brother or something. It's like, and there's a little bit there, you know. My beard is much better though. He's got nicer hair. He's got that nice long hair, but my beard is better.
so what if you had a kid together?
Oh my god.
I
No.
don't think that's possible.
Anything is possible with science.
I'm gonna drink more. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's
Yeah,
also a way
That's
to do
probably
it.
wise.
Gotta love that Jameson. Yeah, that's about it. We haven't really received much on emails lately, but like I said, guys, we've got one more week. Hopefully we'll be able to do that live stream of me shaving the beard or something like that. We'll do whatever it is, depending on which team wins the donation war. But remember, it's a war for the kids. So if you have...
That's not a good thing. Can you rephrase that?
Yes, I can rephrase that. Give me a break. I've been drinking, Seyrr. We're raising money for the kids. So
There we go.
The fate of my beard is up to you guys. If you have a few extra
Someone
dollars...
clip that, please, by the way. War for the kids.
Shut up, Chille. You're
I feel
fired.
like that should be our show title.
War for the kids.
Maybe. I don't know.
Trying to bring up the link here so I can link it in chat for anybody who might be interested in donating. Like I said, we are raising money for Extra Life again this year. And if we can get to $500 by the end of June, which is next Saturday, the team that has the most donations, whether it's Team Save the Beard or Team Bye Bye Beard, if we hit our goal, we'll make that happen.
Oh my gosh, how is June almost over already?
Right? So like I said, if you have a few extra dollars to donate to an amazing charity, Extra Life supports Children's Miracle Network hospitals. All the funds that we raise will be going to the Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul, Minnesota. So we would really appreciate any help with that. And we will be giving away some cool stuff as well if we hit certain goals in that.
Mm-hmm.
So just want to throw that out there one more time. I know I've been throwing out a lot in these streams, but like I said, this doesn't benefit us in any way. This is all for the Extra Life charity and for these children's hospitals.
I mean, it benefits us in that, like, we help kids, and that makes us feel good.
Oh, absolutely. Plus the fact that you guys will get to then see me, do some really embarrassing things with my beard.
I did say I agreed at the She Heals I Tank stream last night, which, by the way, make sure you can go check them out.
Yeah,
I would be willing to wax my body for the $1,000.
Oh my gosh, Chille.
Yeah, I was
Be
gonna
careful
say,
what you're promising.
You gotta understand, I'm not hairy at all, so
it wouldn't be anything for you, huh?
Jokes on them. Ha ha ha.
You probably have lots of very tiny, fine hairs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's going to be hilarious. Where do I donate?
Well, I put the link in the Twitch chat.
Excellent.
But like I said, I was on She Heals I Tank last night, and we did talk a little bit about this. And one thing that was brought up on that is during the live stream, if we end up, if Team Bye Bye Beard wins and we get to our goal, I will do a live stream on this, and we'll do some really crazy things with the beard. We won't just shave it all off and be like all boring. I'm all baby faced again. We'll do like some handlebar mustaches and some and mutton chops and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, we could have evil Klaus with little mustache. Da, da, da.
Oh
Da,
god.
da, da. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be an amazing time we're gonna have on the stream. We'll put it out on social media. It's gonna be it'll be slightly embarrassing for me, but you know what? Like I said, I want to help raise money for the kids.
Klaus, have you considered the virtues of? Hang on, I totally had something.
It's gone.
And it's gone.
It's totally gone.
I love that Kel Defendi's like, crap, I hate being broke right now, or I'd donate $1,000.
I know, Coletta, you are amazing. We always appreciate your exuberance and all that.
Yes. Have you considered the virtues of making a voodoo doll from your own beard on camera?
We could do that. The beard is rather long. I'll make it in the shape of Seyrr and I'll poke it.
That's not how voodoo dolls work, I think.
No, that isn't how the voodoo dolls work. You have to make them out of the person's own. So if you're making a beard of Seyrr, from Seyrr's beard, maybe.
Yeah, this would be a Klaus voodoo doll.
Oh, then I will hold on to it and protect it with my life.
Make sure to save your fingernail clippings, too.
What?
Voodoo dolls are gross.
Little bit. All right,
I
guys.
to perm the beard.
No, that would really stink, and it would kind of be painful on my chin.
Ooh, we should make a paintbrush out of it.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you've liked what you heard, please make sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on either iTunes, Google Play Music, Podbean, or whatever your preferred podcatcher is. And if you can, leave a rating or review. It really does help us get out there in the community, helps people find our podcast, helps other people enjoy the wonders that is Phoenix Down Radio. Or maybe
that's a word for it.
Yeah, I know, right? If you really dig the show, please consider subscribing here at twitch.tv/Phoenix Down Radio. Or if you want to, you can always go out to our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/Phoenix Down Radio, and support us there, like our amazing friend Aurori Fenrir.
We love you, Aurori.
We love everybody, but Aurori, you're an amazing person. You subscribe at the $20 level, which means we shout you out every episode. And if I forget, you have the right to yell at me and tell me that I'm a bad. And I won't. Never mind. I was going to go somewhere really bad, but
we could totally do the Judge John Hodgson special and mispronounce Aurori's name every time. Like, that's the thing he does. If you give money, he will mispronounce your name on stream.
Aruri. There we go.
Aruru
Fenrir. We love you, Aurori. You are an amazing person. You are very supportive of us, and we do appreciate that very much.
You put up with a lot of crap from us.
She does. I mean, she's at I think she commented the other night that she's only missed like 2 of the streams that I've had all year. And I've streamed 173 times this year. Or 173 days this year. And there's 173 days so far this year.
Holy
Klaus,
shit.
did you do that just to do a stealth brag?
No, it's something that I've been working hard to do.
So a public brag.
Yes,
Got it.
Exactly. I mean, I posted it every time we stream, except for the podcast. What day I've streamed now for like the past month and a half.
If you look down at the bottom, you can also see a little widget which will tell you when he'll stream next.
That's true. And it's usually about 7 o'clock Central Time. Anyway, all proceeds we get from either Twitch or from Patreon go towards growing the stream. Covers things like, the behind the scenes hosting costs, as well as doing some giveaways and things like that. So we really appreciate all of that, and it's really helpful to us. So thank you very much for all your support. And we love it all, whether it is monetary or likes, comments, retweets, things like that. It helps us to be seen in the community, and we just love interacting with you guys. So if you want to check out all of our backlog of podcasts, you can find that out at our website, phoenixdownradio.com. We also have a few articles back there. Seyrr has done a couple of lore extras. The last one I think was on Gilgamesh.
Yep, it's been a while. I should do another one.
That would be cool. I also posted some information about the upcoming Fan Fest, and I do plan on doing a kind of a planning guide on how to prepare for the upcoming Fan Fests. Being we've all experienced them, it may be helpful for those who are going for the first time to kind of plan out what they would need to, do to get ready for it. So look forward to that. If you have any questions or comments on anything, you can always send us an email, podcast@phoenixdownradio.com. If you have Twitter, you can reach out to us at phxdnradio. Or like I said, if you have a Facebook, you can check us out there at facebook.com/phoenixdownradio. So who has shout outs?
I'll start.
Okay.
So, shout outs to my friends Morgan and Sam, who came out for a visit this week and got me to finally go to that seafood ramen place I've been meaning to go to. Oh my god! Like, I'd never had
ramen?
seafood. Huh?
Seafood ramen?
Yeah, there's like somewhere you can get a seafood-based broth, and oh my god, eating it was like I'd spent the afternoon at the beach.
This is in San Fran?
No, it was actually in Sunnyvale.
But in the Bay Area?
Bay Area, yeah.
Seyrr, if I ever come to visit you, we're going.
We're going to so many places if you come to visit. You have no idea.
Woo!
Also, shout out to my friend Derek, who
You're welcome.
had a
what?
different one.
I know.
Who had a horrible experience this last week, moving into a new place, and then promptly moving out less than 24 hours later after discovering the cockroach and bedbug problem.
What?
I am yeah, poor guy. I am so sorry you got stuck with that, man, and I hope your next one's going to be a lot better.
You talking Tristan?
Yeah.
Damn, Tristan.
Fortunately, his old landlord had not actually found someone to take the old space, and so he's letting him move back in.
That's good to hear.
Also, he's been doing an incredible job of documenting all the relevant stuff, so if the owner of the new slumlord place, whatever, tries to do anything to him, I'm pretty sure he can curb stomp him in court.
Youch.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on social media?
Oh, yes. So I tweet at FFXIVSEYRR. I know, Talise, you did message about how you haven't seen anything from me lately. I post sporadically, and frequently it's just pictures of interesting things that I made for dinner or random funny stuff I found at the library. Though if you start tweeting at me asking about lore stuff, I will almost certainly be happy to talk with you about it. For those who do like lore discussions, I would also recommend coming to our Discord server, which, Klaus, I'm sure you have the link for. Our Lorebrarian section is monitored not just by myself, but by several other lore masters in the community, and we have had wide-ranging discussions at pretty much all hours of the day. Always happy to see more faces there.
Someone on Reddit was asking about a Lord Discord earlier today, so I made sure to link and tell them about you.
Nice.
Aw.
We're always about growing the Phoenix Down Radio community, so thank you. And thank you.
I'm mostly the top talking to anyone who will listen, but like, seriously, guys, I realize this in the process of doing the librarian stuff. I will read pretty much anything to anyone. Story time is a nice bonus, but I will read anything to anyone.
Yeah, if you support us on Patreon at a high enough level, we'll get Seyrr to read the phone book for you.
I feel like I can do better. I'll find interesting stories to read. There's like a couple I really like. I would totally share them with you people.
Necromancer, he usually reads me the riot act.
Yeah, stop deserving it, punk. Oh my god, I am going to set you on fire the next time I see you.
Oh my. Luna, shout outs.
God. Big shout out to everyone who's listening right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. We wouldn't be anything without you guys, so awesome that you guys are here and we're happy to have you. Shout out to Sin that we're in right now. If you guys ever want to come by and look around the place, I just got done redecorating it like 2 days ago. So that is in Lavender Beds, Ward 15, Plot 3 on the Hyperion server. So come on over. There's a guest book up top. And yeah, if you guys want to find me on the social medias, you can actually find me right here on Twitch at Luna_Va.
A new affiliate.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to find me over on Twitter, where I am most active. Ow, cat, can you not bite my foot? Thank you.
Cat
No.
says no.
Cat has to bite.
Cat says no Twitter.
Cat must bite.
Cat, ow!
Oh,
Hashtag cat bite hard.
He's mad at me because I won't let him on my lap right now, so he's biting me.
I mean, like, that's a high crime in cat circles.
It
Yeah.
is.
Ow!
So anyway,
If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Luna_Fox. Ow, 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 ow.
I feel like we need to switch to one of those technical difficulty signs.
Or give the cat a problematic sticker. Chille?
Well, you can find me.
I was going to say, give
like
the cat
shout-
a problematic sticker first.
Okay, fine.
Problematic sticker would be a great band name.
I'm going to do one of those cat shaming like signs on him.
It's a great podcast name, I'll say that.
Yeah, it's a great podcast name. You can go check it out at psu.podbean.com with me, Klaus, because Klaus is awesome and it joins us.
Woo.
Gary, Tim, Neil. There'll be no Neil this week, by the way, but
Aw.
and sometimes Alfonso.
Oh God, who's
We'll be
hosting then?
recorded tomorrow. I'll be hosting.
Oh, that's problematic in itself.
Wow, Klaus.
All of the stickers will be used tomorrow.
I'm stocking up. Okay.
But
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
yeah, shout out to Ian's show. He is awesome and said I was a good host on that one stream that I've joined with you. So I'll shout him out. A shout out to everyone else that's here. Thank you all. Shout out to She Heals I Tank, to Melsham Radio. Because I know they're having some issues now that they're sort of clashing on a Friday.
Yeah.
A shout out to Von Mel, aka Girlfriend's favourite streamer. Also, a shout out to myself. Go check me out on PlayStation Unchained and Mooga Go Round Radio with Paul Metal. And the Chromatic sticker.
And
I'm on
where
all
can they
of them.
find you on the social medias?
You can find me at Chille UK on Twitter. I'm trying to reach 1,100 followers, so give me a follow because I want to reach 1,100. I'm at 1,069 giggity
Nice.
right now.
Nice.
And if I reach 1,100, I'll be doing a giveaway, but I don't know what it is yet, so
Stuff and things.
stuff and things will be given away.
Chille is an amazing person, isn't he, Ian? Yes.
Oh, thank you, Ian.
And I want to special shout out to Luna. Thank you again for joining us this week. I'm glad you were up to joining us. Thank you for letting us have the podcast here at your lovely FC home.
Yeah,
Place looks
anytime.
great.
It is. It's amazing.
you.
If you guys are on Hyperion, check out SynRP. It's a lot of fun. Just remember, it is an adult themed, so make sure to all that good stuff.
So if you're under 18, get your parents' permission before you lie about your age.
Something.
That's
like
how
that.
this works, right?
Also get their credit card information.
But
Yeah, that
officer,
sounds
she
legal.
told me she was over level 18.
Mm.
Oh,
She
my.
was level 6 to 17.
Oh man, that's the perfect industry. Barely legal level sinks.
That sounds
I'm on a list, aren't I?
well. It sounds like you need to do what dungeon is it? The mines, Copperbell. Isn't that level sync to 18?
I think so.
There you go. Seyrr's running Counterspell Mines runs.
Someone wants to go to Tamtara.
So it would be sink bait.
Oh, we're on lists.
Problematic sticker right there. All right. Again, shout outs to Chille and Seyrr. Thank you again for being amazing co-hosts, and Luna as well. Luna, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. Shout out to the Problematic Sticker Anime Podcast at psu.podbean.com, which I am a part of with the amazing Chille and Neil and Gary and Tim and Alfonso and Chris. It's a lot of fun. If you like anime, definitely recommend checking it out. It's been an amazing time for me to talk about that with them. Shout out to everybody who's donated to our Extra Life campaign. We really do appreciate all of that. And I want to throw a shout out to She Heals I Tank and Maelstrom Radio as well for talking about our Extra Life fundraising plans for this month. And to Pete and Navi for letting me join them last night to talk about it. So it was a lot of fun. And you can find me out at phxdn_Klaus, Klauss, out on Twitter. So it sounds like that's gonna cover it, huh, guys?
Oh my god, I'm kind of dead.
All right. So for my co-hosts, Seyrr Tomono, for Chille, and for Luna Vox, I am Klaus Nightbringer, wishing everybody a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Phoenix Down Radio is a production of PhoenixDownRadio.com and Illusion Productions. And support Tina and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. In-game content for Phoenix Down Radio is the copyright of Square Enix. Opening music for Phoenix Down Radio is provided by Guilty Gear Rock You. Check out the Metal Chocobo theme cover and many other music videos at youtube.com/Guilty Gear Rock You. Closing music for this episode is provided by Guitar Wanker 90. Please check out their full version of Matoya's Cave and other rock video game covers at youtube.com/Guitar Wanker 90. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of Phoenix Down Radio and its hosts and do not reflect the views of Square Enix.